Hi, I'm Brian Goodrow, and this is Michigan Insurance Source. We're your local source for all your insurance needs, and what we're trying to do today is just to keep you informed, educated on things you really need to know as the public. And today we're going to be talking about our seniors. Um, I guess you could say my parents, the baby boomers, things along those lines. Uh, it's always brought to my attention various interesting things, and I try to always inform the public the best that I can. And so I'm going to try to do that today, and hopefully keep you guys well informed of what's going on or what's happening and all that fun stuff. So let's go to my computer screen, and as you can see on my computer screen is an AARP article, Baby Boomers. Now, don't know when this article was written. There really isn't any dates or anything on it, but right here in the middle of the screen, you can read it clearly says, in 2011, the first baby boomers reached what used to be known as the retirement age, 65. And over the next 18 years, boomers will be turning 65 at a rate of 8,000 people per day. 8,000. That's huge. That's huge for my generation. I'm not a baby boomers. I'm the generation just after that. And the reason why, if you look at this, now it's 2014. We're 3 years in. At 8,000 people per day, we still have 15 more years and thousands upon thousands of millions of people, seniors, turning 65. And the funny thing of it is where Social Security is and where Medicare is and all those things, which I'm not going to be talking about today. Those things were never really meant for people to live to their 70s or late 70s, 80s, and 90s, but they are. I mean, as is my mom in November of 2014 when I'm doing this podcast, she's 78 years old. You know, I'm blessed. I really am blessed. She's still fully functional, still living on her own, and, truly active. And that's a great thing. And there's a lot of seniors just like her. I have nothing wrong with that. But my generation, we need to understand that one day we'll be taking care of our parents, the people that raised us. Now, also, my generation, I have a 16-year-old daughter going to be turning 17. And as you can see, there's a lot of gray in my hair. And I'm the guy stuck in the middle. I'm the guy that, I'm taking care of my mom when she gets to that point and taking care of my daughter. Now, hopefully, I'm lucky enough that my daughter will be going to college and will be doing her own thing. If my mom ever gets that bad, which I hope, pray to God, that she never does. One day, much older in life, she goes to bed, falls asleep, and we won't have to worry about putting her in a nursing home or anything along those lines. But that's not true for everybody. I see it on a daily basis. And we get phone calls from a lot of our clients that sit there and go, well, what do I do? I got to take care of my kids. I got to still work. We're moving mom in because mom can't take care of herself. Where should we where should we take her mom and dad? And it's kind of funny. You say, well, you can with Medicare or Medicaid, they'll pay for somebody, for assisted living that'll stay in the house, do laundry, do dishes, take care of her for basic stuff. Or you can take them to what is the new thing, adult daycare. Or in some people's cases, but when their parent becomes too much, they put them in a nursing home. So that person is taking care of their parent almost like they're taking care of their child. But the thing is, when they have their first child and they're worried about, I got to put my little one in daycare, they'll go through and search a daycare up and down on, is it licensed? Is it insured? Is it a daycare that, when they leave, it can get them into a better preschool? Is it a daycare that's educating them or just playing with toys? they do such a thorough search on their daycare. It just it is mind-boggling. You know, they're just not going to go to the yellow pages, which oddly enough, that's what I did. I went to the yellow pages, yp.com, and searched up adult daycare and found hundreds of them within the Detroit market. So, okay, so, you see they're all here. I'm not saying anything bad about any of the ones that are showing up on my screen. But if you click on some of these have 5 stars and 4 stars, and some of them have no stars. But a lot of these you can't click on to find a website that says anything about them. You can't find really anything at all. Can't do any research. And some of these adult daycares, although they're on the yellow pages, they get used for the realm of other facilities that you may be putting your parent in, an assisted living facility or a group home. Those group homes, to give their employees a break, drop these individuals off at these adult daycares. I'm going somewhere with this. Please bear with me. Okay? And that is, this morning I get into my office and I have a lady that calls me up and she goes, you know what? I have an adult daycare and I pick up residents from group homes and I bring them to my adult daycare, and my van insurance expired and I need insurance. So I went looking and I couldn't find the market because she only had one vehicle. So I called her up and I said, well, you might go to the company that's doing your general liability, your professional insurance on your adult daycare. If they're writing your adult daycare, they should have a program to write your vehicle. And then you package it all up. And she goes to me over the phone, which at this point, I was shocked. Absolutely shocked and appalled. She goes, oh, I don't carry liability. I don't have to. State of Michigan doesn't require it because the state of Michigan doesn't license adult daycares. What ends up happening is these group homes where these people live just dump them off, and, well, we have them sign off that their liability is going to pick it up. Really? Are you serious? Well, yeah, the group home is licensed and they're inspected. But that's the home. You're taking your parent, the person that raised you, the person that hopefully, taught you the values and the caring and everything that made you the person who you are. And you're not, you look into their assisted living facility, but where are they getting dropped off at? Or are you dropping that person off and never asking, are you licensed? Are you insured? But here's the thing. They don't have to be licensed by the state, which frankly, the state of Michigan and our sitting governor, Governor Snyder, I'm sorry. I respect you in all ways. You've done a great job, and I'm glad to see you got reelected. And our Senate, get off your ass, guys. Here's the thing. I had my assistant go to the state website. And we said, okay, for a child care. Because let's face it, our seniors our parents might get to that point where instead of having good brain function, they're falling back to what an infant child might have. They might be big, they might have an adult, they might have full muscle control, but their brain is functioning like a child. So I asked my assistant, and I said, you know what, go to the state website, because we insure daycares. It's what we do. I go, I know what they need for insurance. I know what they need for liability. They got to carry a license. Dear Lord, even when my insurance carriers, to get them a better rate, looks on a state website, because there's something on the state website that you can go to check on a daycare if there's ever been any hitting of a child, if there's any abuse of a child, or anything along those lines. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. To get a daycare license, here's the requirements. You can see on the screen, it's right there. or go to the state website. This is the Department of Human Services for the state of Michigan. Okay, Michigan.gov. They says, hey, if you want a license, this is where you go. Just on fees that are non-refundable. Okay, fees that are non-refundable, thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay, just to start off your license, if you're 1 to 20 kids, it's going to cost you $150 for just the application fee. Okay, then you got to go through rules. Then you got to go through site. Then you got to go fire safety, environmental safety, background safety. Look at all these things that you need to have in place. All these things. These are things from the state website. I love it. Number 6, child use space. This one is funny. A sketch on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. They tell you on the state website that if you're going to sketch out where the child space is going to be, well, this is the child space. This is where they're going to play. This is where they're going to do this. Whatever the case may be, you got to have the square footage. But a thing that gets me the most, it says 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So if it's on a table napkin or legal pad, something. Sorry, nope. Our rules state it has to be on this. There's everything here. There's like 9 things that you got to understand, not including every other thing that you go through. Estimated, I love this down on the you're looking at a time frame. It gives you a time frame on when things are going to be done. This is how regulated child care is. And there's nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this in any way, because this is our child. But here's the thing. This is the little person that we are bringing into the world that one day might take care of us. And in return, we're hoping to get respect if we are in that mental capacity. And our parents, and it's affecting us, my generation. Our parents are going into places like adult daycare, which is the equivalent of a child daycare. They're just bigger, a little bit more ornery, a few other things. But in this case, these are all the rules. Just in inspections and cleanups and things along those lines, a person can look cost-wise of $1,400, roughly $1,500 to almost $5,000. Here is the state website. This is what they put into if you want to open up a child care center. This is our state website. This isn't talking about how much you're going to pay more for insurance. This isn't talking about all the various other things that the state can do to you along the way, the other inspections, the various things that they have the right to do constantly. These are all the laws that are put into place. So I sat there and I asked my assistant, I said, okay, here's all the rules, the licensing fees and everything else for a child daycare. What does the state have for adult daycare? There we go. There, I clicked on it. Adult daycare. Requirement state license. None. So the people that you could be paying, the people that the assisted living facility is taking your parents to. These are the parents that raised you, that took care of you, that taught you your ethics, that taught you how to care, that picked you up when you had a cut, that held you tight when you were sad. They could be going to these places and it's not even licensed by the state and or can be controlled by the state because there's no laws controlling it. Okay? Adult daycare centers that are funded by the Office of Aging are not licensed. The office only ensures quality care for adults needing supervision in the areas such as disabilities, distribution of medication, bathing, laundry. Okay, so you hire somebody to come into your house to help them do the laundry, to bathe your parent, to issue their medication. Not, we're talking, make sure they take it. Not give it to them, but make sure they take it. These places are licensed. But if you want to just stick them in a room, that's okay. Just stick them in a room. And I love this one. This is a great line. And once again, Governor Snyder, our senators, our governors, get off your ass, people. Whoever wrote this is stupid. This next line, completely dumb. Most of these centers are located at churches or child daycare centers, etc. You show me a child daycare center that are going to have seniors with dementia and various other things next to the children, the state of Michigan won't even give them a license. If they do, God, are you bigger idiots? And the health and service people are bigger idiots than could be. Because those adults can hurt those children. Why? Because they're non-functionable. But here's the thing. The caregivers in the homes are licensed by the state. The facilities are licensed by the state, but as soon as those facilities want to put them in an adult daycare, or if you want to put your child or your mom or dad in adult daycare because maybe it's the place to be, not licensed by the state. And the state goes, well, they're in churches. When individuals take care of a person in their own home, they should check with Medicare. Well, yeah, they need to check with Medicare because Medicare might pay them for it. Big line. The state does not regulate this type of service. Also, check your local health department, city clerks, counselors, yada, 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 yada. So in other words, the cities, the clerks, if I open up a building and I say, okay, it's an adult daycare, in most cases, all the city will do is come in, make sure your fire exits are there, make sure that there's proper parking, okay? And make sure there's proper facilities, in other words, bathroom. But there's more regulations on how many facilities there are. And, dear Lord, there's regulations on a playground that's governed by the state. This could be nothing more than a pew. Sit them in a pew, sit them in a chair at a table with a crayon book. There's nothing governing the people taking care of them while they're in there. There's nothing stating that there has to be secure doors or alarm doors that if the person walks out, that they know they've walked out the wrong door. My office is right here on Grossbeck. There's a medical facility closed down right next to me that's part of the same building. Somebody could rent that place out, clean it up. Township would come in and go, yeah, you know what? For adult daycare, we're good. It meets our standards. There's enough parking. There's enough bathroom. Fine. You can set up tables, whatever the case may be. But if there's not an alarm on the door, dear God, they can go out one door and be on Grossbeck and hit by a truck. And what liability or what is there to protect you? That's your mom. That's your dad. That's the person taking care of you. I'm sorry. I'm going off on a diatribe on this. But when you go to the yellow pages and you see all of this, all of these, and you go through and you look at these, and nothing to any of these facilities. I'm just going on a yellow page ad. That's all this is. But understanding that, these aren't licensed by the state. They don't have to carry a certain amount of liability. They don't have to regulate it on alarms. They don't have to say where certain things are. There isn't any monitoring devices. And if your mom or your dad has the same intelligence of your infant child because they're up there in that age and they're living longer, but their mind isn't. Why shouldn't there be regulations on that? Why shouldn't there be liability requirements on that? I'm an insurance agent. Some people sit there and say, you know what, Brian, the only reason why you're doing this is because of the fact that you want these people to have insurance. Yeah, I do. I do. And you know what? I will do my research if, God forbid, if my mom ever gets to that point where I got to put her in adult daycare. Okay? And I understand that. But knowing all that, folks, knowing that, it's just not buying insurance. It's about taking care of the people that took care of us. And knowing that the state of Michigan could be looking at all these people, all these places, and none of them are carrying insurance. And all insurance does is really protect them, but also protects you. Protects you. Because if the state says you got to carry $1 million in liability, you're not going to have people popping up overnight just to run adult daycare. Low cost. Doesn't cost them anything. They don't have to be licensed with the state. They don't have to maintain a condition of the building. They don't have to do anything. They just got to know that the kids get dropped off, they get picked up, and that's it. They don't even have to carry the right insurance on their vehicle. Give me a break. The insurance industry has more rules on what they're going to protect than the state of Michigan does. And here's the thing. We'll go back to this. AARP. 8,000 people per day. That means every day we sit here for the next 15 more years, there's going to be more and more people that are going to be needing adult daycares. There's going to be more and more adult daycares popping up. So, folks, before you put your parent into adult daycare, before you look into anything, if the state's not doing it, you do it. Ask them, what's your liability insurance? What things do you have in place to control what's going on? Give me a better idea of what's happening. Because if you don't, you're going to get yourself in trouble. You're causing an issue. And you're hurting yourself. But most of all, you're hurting the person that took care of you, that made you who you are. You might not want to admit it, but why put them at risk? Do some research. Take some time. If you're a senator and you're listening to this, if you're a governor and you're listening to this, if, you're a representative for the state of Michigan and you're listening to this, figure out why this is going to be a growing industry, and figure out why isn't it regulated? Why isn't there more safety things put into place? As an insurance company, we insure these places when they call and they ask us. We can't force insurance on them. It's not what we do. But I'll tell you, when we try to put insurance on them, the carriers expect the best of the best. These are the evil insurance companies. But yet our government isn't regulating an industry that's going to be taking care of our parents. They regulate their nursing homes. They regulate the home health care people. But this adult daycare is going to be a growing industry, folks. And we really need to look into it. And if you're not, you're putting your parents at risk, and you're putting yourself at risk, and you're trusting other people to say, oh, we'll take care of them. If you look at an insurance policy at the end of the day, it's kind of putting in trust. It's saying, look, we're living up to the insurance company's regulations. You can have faith in us that we're going to do our job, because if not, you can sue us. The state of Michigan says you still can sue them. But what are you going to sue? A company that's going to close down? You're not going to get any money? You're not going to pay for your lawyer? And, they close down and they open up underneath another name. Why? Who cares? The state doesn't regulate them. I'm Brian Goodrow. This is Michigan Insurance Source. I hope you understand what we are doing today. If you got any questions about insurance, please give us a call. Phone number here is 586-846-3133. Or you can go to our website, michiganinsurancesource.com, and we'll be happy to help you out in any way we can. Hope this was helpful and educational.